is common to disagree on issues, but it is priceless to give room for fence mending to achieve progress. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State and the Commander General of Kano State, Hisbah Board, Sheikh Aminu Ibrahim Daurawa, have reconciled after the outburst. Daurawa, who earlier resigned from the position, confirmed the reconciliation in a post on his Facebook. The reconciliation meeting, which took place at the government house in Kano, was at the instance of the governor. The Hisbah Commander General has returned to his position and will resume tomorrow, Tuesday. BKO, we spoke about this on Tuesday. Yes. It's good to see that both parties found a common ground. Sunday.
Yeah, and you will recall that I said I was sure that the matter will be resolved. I knew at that point that the governor was making some moves, and I'm happy that the governor has found a way to reconcile with Daurawa, because Kano is a conservative society and Islamic clerics are very strong, very strong. Their words matter. So the worst thing that Abba Kabir Yusuf, the governor of Kano State, can do to himself is to get the Islamic clerics to turn against him, because these clerics have a tremendous hold on the population. You know, so if they turn against you, then you are in trouble. Politically, you are in trouble. So the governor has made the right move, and I believe that he will have learned some lessons from this, because it was said that Daurawa was calling him before he took the decision to prosecute the famous TikToker, Murja, but the governor did not pick his call. Then, after she was sent to jail and remanded for 7 days in jail, suddenly after 2 days, she was released. And many people believe that it was the governor who filed the pressure on the judge. The judge took the decision to have her released before the 7 days. So Daurawa must have felt slighted. And then the governor publicly criticized them in front of Islamic clerics, criticized the Hisbah, accused the Hisbah of excesses in terms of the manner in which they arrest people. Yes, you may not approve of some of the actions, but we have to bear some cultural realities in mind. In that milieu where they operate, religion plays a big factor. And these guys are seen as like the moral police. Moral police. They don't want people to drink alcohol. They go after those who drink alcohol. They raid hotels, they raid restaurants for people. They go after adulterous people and all that. The conservative people within the society will certainly be happy. And that was why public opinion tilted in favor of Daurawa in this matter. So you can see some of those who had not criticized the governor in the past, some of them were coming out to say, no, on this matter, the governor was to blame and all that. I think that you have to, as a governor, you have to balance things up. You have to be firm, at the same time you have to be even-handed. People are saying Murja, you know, the fearless TikToker, belonged to the NNPP. And for that reason, the governor was not particularly pleased about the way she was arrested and all that. Because people, even the picture of the girl with the governor went viral, and people were spreading all kinds of funny allegations and all that. The point that I'm making is the governor has to learn from this. Your key aides must be able to reach you. If they can't reach you for this, then it's bad enough. A governor has to be accessible. You've got to be accessible. Jafar, the famous journalist, also accused the governor of constantly neglecting his aides and blocking access. You can't behave like that, because when a situation that warrants you to intervene quickly happens, and they want to give you the heads up, and they can't reach you, it allows for the sort of thing that we have seen, where a TikToker is now knocking the heads of the Hisbah Commander General against the head of the governor. Now the girl has even gone ahead to sue Hisbah, sue the Alkali, the Grand Cadi that put her on trial. You know, these sort of things are rare. And when they felt that she must be mentally deranged and they tried to inject her, she refused. She didn't allow. She said, no, nobody is going to inject me with anything because I am sane. It's rare for people to resist, for anyone to resist Hisbah in the way it has happened. But I'm also keen to find out what will happen next to the girl. Whether her case will continue or the governor will just say, let's find closure to this matter. A lot of people will want to know. Okay,
well, when I come back to you, we will continue from there. MJ, how do you react to this? Especially because there were fears this might escalate.
Yeah, Daurawa resigned on Friday. And by yesterday, with the intervention of the chief imam of the National Mosque in Abuja, who incidentally is also from Kano, and the Kano State, the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, the governor actually sent emissaries to these people to help mediate in the guy because it was becoming, I mean, a very, very serious issue. Because what, like Jide said, what the Islamic group in Kano, what they were saying is that the governor was shielding his supporters from being brought under the moral control that is being instituted by Hisbah. I mean, especially with the case of that TikToker. And it will be, I mean, the fear that it could send very, very bad signals out there that the moment you are close to the governor, then you are above the law. So I love the way the Hisbah commander also resigned to say, no, Mr. Governor, yes, you appointed me, but you can't treat me like this. I mean, I would rather, some people will stay there and be taking the shit and they will be looking for ways to beg the governor. But, I mean, it took a very bold step. Mr. Governor, if you don't have confidence in me again, then it's better I leave. I can survive without. So then when the Islamic clerics saw these signals, especially the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly and the Chief Imam of the National Mosque and other ulamas, they came together and told the governor that this should be, I mean, put in check before it escalates. And I think I like the leadership style of the governor too, because, I mean, he was able to bring him together and they had, I mean, the matter was put to rest yesterday. So some governors will say, yes, it can go. I mean, it's not indispensable, blah, 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 stuff like that. But going forward, I still want to know how the matter of that lady will be resolved, because now, I mean, she has not served her 7-day terms full before she was released, and rather than keeping quiet, she has gone ahead to institute cases against the Hisbah commander and the court that sentenced her. So the governor has to be careful, methodical, strategic in handling this kind of matter, because the moment that some people feel that Hisbah, I mean, Hisbah cannot control them because they are like the moral police. They kick against immorality. Now, there are some places in Kano where you can't just drink or do some stops there. I mean, this should be maintained, and because I have been to some parts in Kano where you can't do some of this.
So continue from where BKO stopped. This is the 21st century. How can two truths exist in this regard?
Can what?
Two truths. The governor is raised some very valid points. Hisbah also has an obligation to reduce immorality and bad behavior in the states.
I think that it's possible to achieve a common ground. Some of the excesses of Hisbah have to be addressed. No matter how relevant or how useful the group is, we have to admit that there are excesses. And the governor said some of the videos that he saw were not palatable. You know, the way they raid restaurants, hotels, and they lump people together, you know, in obvious breach of their human rights. Some of their methods need to be looked at. Nobody is perfect. And Hisbah men cannot claim to be perfect. So some of those excesses, some of those methods that the governor frowned against must be looked at. And both men should agree that, yes, there are some things that we can change. They can't say they are perfect. So since they are not perfect, if there are criticisms, those criticisms have to be taken on board in a positive manner. So I believe that this should help us achieve a better Hisbah in terms of their conduct in public. You know, beating people with clubs and all that is not good. You know, it doesn't make any sense at all. For the girl, again, the governor has to show leadership. They will find a way to resolve it. I've seen even people more famous than her, Kannywood actresses, have been punished. Yep. In some cases, they will even sentence them to Quranic school to go and learn more about the tenets of the religion. You know, whenever they maybe they posted something on the internet that Hisbah found untidy. So I'm eager to see how this girl's matter will be resolved.
MJ, would you like to react to it before we go on break?
Yeah, basically, I see that the governor has taken a good step, and it's good for Daurawa to have reconsidered his earlier stand. Going forward, they should know how to manage these egos.
All right, gentlemen.